Hi, hello, and welcome. I'm definitely not Vlad, and you're watching me go from Bellend to Legend on a Brewmaster Monk in The War Within Season 2. What does Bellend to Legend mean? It means I go from 0 to 3k rating, PUG only. So we're still at the potential murder scene where a hawk may have taken out someone trying to air out their feet while playing a banjo or whatever the hell this thing is. But also, we are kind of excited-ish, sort of, for 11.2. So there's a few changes happening to Brewmaster Monk, and I just wanted to talk about those before we talk about, Bellend to Legend and all that good stuff. So basically, we're getting a buff to our sustain-ish, maybe? I don't know how it's going to be tuned, where these orbs from the Spirit of the Ox and Gift of the Ox are going to be healing you additionally over time rather than just directly instantly healing you. So when you use Expel Harm for each orb that you have here, I'm pointing here because there's usually stacks telling me how many, you will get an additional heal over time if I understood the talent correctly, or it'll just be healing you over time, because 5 stacks right now will fill your health bar instantly. You're going to be fine if you use Expel Harm with 5 stacks. But immediately afterwards, you're going to tick like this much from your 20 million stagger or whatever, and it's kind of not feeling great. So hopefully that helps with some sustain issues that Brew has, but we'll see. Another thing they're doing is they're removing Zen Meditation. I don't know what they're going to do instead of it. Makes sense. This talent feels pointless. I don't think I've pressed this a single time. Maybe I would press it. I can think of one place where I could press it, and that is after the end of the pull in Motherload with that Ascari guy that puts the bleeds on you, and then you use Zen Meditation and you just kind of sit there and the bleeds tick down and you're taking less damage. That seems like something you might do. But I really, other than that, or if you have a shit ton of stagger at the end of a fight and didn't clear it and then use Zen Meditation to stagger off, and those situations make sense. But otherwise in combat it just doesn't make any sense. And the current reason we're taking it is because taking these 2 talents is more prohibitive than just grabbing this and then being at these talents. That's my understanding of it. Could be completely wrong. More experienced brewmasters can let me know. Another change is that they want to make Invoke and use the Black Ox actually do something. We can heal it using Purifying Brew, apparently. That's the idea now. And it does some other things. But basically, they just buffed this and made it more of a thing, which honestly, for me, that just sounds like I'll be dropping Ox Stance and something else and putting it into this, like these talent points, which means I'll get another stupid freaking button. Sure, I'll be losing Zen Meditation, but I don't really care about Zen Meditation. I'm getting another button in the form of this that I have to track the cooldown of and use. And honestly, Blizzard, come on. Like, the first complaint people have about Brewmaster is that it has too many buttons. Your solution is to give mediocre passives instead of these buttons, instead of moving the buttons into stagger, basically. Just make stagger that much better. This reduces the skill expression, but I don't know. I feel like you kind of have to start moving some power into stagger. But then again, if you buff stagger too much, Brewmaster becomes the best tank and everyone plays it. So they're kind of in a tough spot where they have to rework stagger. I was hoping, when I saw that Brewmaster is going to be changed, I was hoping for a big rework kind of thing, but no luck. We just got another fucking button. That's what we got. We got another button. So that's another thing to deal with. There were some other changes, but none of them are even remotely interesting. I just didn't care. These ones seemed like the biggest ones. Let me know what you guys think about the Brewmaster changes if you play it, especially if you're a longtime Brewmaster main and have enjoyed it for many a season. I'd love to know what you think. I think the changes are not what Brew needs. I think Brew needs to get rid of buttons, but you guys let me know what you think. Anyway, now for the recap and what I've done in the meantime. I have cleared every 10 on stream, PUG only, and then I also did some more 10s with people from the stream because it wasn't really going to give me any significant rating. I think we got a total of like 10 rating by doing other 10s that we've already done, right? So that's just from improving the timers a little bit, but I have demonstrated that I can PUG these 10s on my lonesome. And then so I just did some more on stream to get some more crests. Speaking of crests, I turned those crests into a cloak. We now have a consecrated cloak at 681. Put Chant of Leeching Fangs on it because leech is apparently better than avoidance, which makes sense considering stagger will just soak up that avoidance, or will make that avoidance feel cheap and useless. So you'd rather just have some or some leech instead, because you do heal yourself and healing interacts with leech in a great way. Blah blah blah. It doesn't matter. You get leech. These changes have gotten us to 666 item level. We're still looking for a trinket improvement for Funhouse Lens. I would really like to get, whatchamacallits, the mud trinket from Floodgate. That would be super fun. But for now, we're stuck switching between crit and haste randomly and hoping that we get crit, because haste doesn't do much for us. Now for the stat breakdown, I'll just open up Narcissus over here, this add-on that people keep asking about in the comment. This is called Narcissus. This is part of what Narcissus does, and it's a great add-on. We're heavier into verse than we are into crit. We also rock a verse flask, so we get even more verse out of this. To secure that, if trinkets proc crit and stuff, we still have things giving us the most. Let's say I have a trinket that gives me more of my highest secondary stat, or whatever Cersei's Circlet does. I don't want to get a proc of crit that then makes crit my highest secondary stat. I want verse to be my highest secondary stat so that I keep getting more versatility from this. I don't want him flip-flopping back and forth. So I do run the versatility flask, and I feel like it's just good shit. So now that the yapping is done, what are we doing in today's episode? This one's finally an episode where I don't do a bunch of stuff before I go into M+. So yeah, let's just go into M+. I'm thinking I want to do an 11. The only 11 I have is a Dark Flame Cleft, which I've done a video on Dark Flame Cleft. I've done a video on Motherload as well. And I've done a video on Cinderbrew Meadery. So I'm going to look for everything that is not those dungeons. I guess we did Theater of Pain, but not really. We did get our revenge on Theater of Pain on the stream pretty much immediately, which I really liked. I'm going to get to applying, and I'll talk to you once I am in a dungeon. And here we go with a 11 workshop. It was the first thing I got into, so let's just see how that goes for us. I'm going to be pulling these packs separately because I don't want to risk the group wiping to lack of kicks. So we have 4 casters in the first pack, or first 2 packs we pull, and then we have 2 casters in the next one. I'm gonna see if we can get some stuns in here. Would love to get a sync on them, and then just, you know, good shit. Yeah, let's just get some kicks in. Okay, that one didn't get kicked. I think it just blew up, but it didn't kill us, so that's what really matters, isn't it? Very nice. I'm gonna touch a death one, spinning here to get initial aggro, then Keg Smash, spinning again for initial aggro, and Keg Smash Fire Breath. Let's get these, the explosive keg down, and then Weapons of Order. I know I shouldn't use it in that order. I should try to build up the stacks of Weapons of Order on the enemies first, and then deal with that, but honestly, I'm just gonna YOLO it like this. Chi Burst is now something I'm using because holy shit, I did not realize Chi Wave was such an inferior option. That's completely my bad. I thought it was somewhat closer than it was, but it was not. It was poopy. Big poopy, man. Okay, we got a kick in there. Let's purify some of the stagger, and we are good. Okay, nice. I didn't use my Ring of Peace there on the first pull. I don't think I even used my AoE stun, or maybe they immuned it. I don't know at this point. But I feel like I'm doing a good job keeping myself alive here. Probably the priest also helping out a shit ton considering, you know, big this priest heals for the tanky tank. Alright, cool. First 2 pulls handled quite well, I think. I prefer that over going for the big pull, especially when we don't have any kind of AoE silence. We don't have a warrior, disrupting shout, we don't have a beam, we don't have a, what's that thing called? A VDH, silence sigil, none of that. So that is something we have to keep in mind. Okay, we're dropping all of these bombs right on top of the thing we need to use, like the hammer that we need to use. I don't know. Someone says don't spam BOD on AoE, man. I have no idea who they're even speaking to. Genuinely have no idea who they're speaking to right now. Platinum plating goes down. I want to activate the hammer here. Should have done that a bit sooner, but I think I got knocked around a little bit. We're going to go ahead and move towards the next hammer here. Hopefully people don't drop a bunch of mines around it. We're going to taunt this guy to make him move a little bit faster here. And we're going to give an off heal to our DK friend. Platinum pummel comes down, smacks me. Nobody's on top of me, so I don't mind. New battle mines coming in over there and back here, so we have this area clear. Foe flipper goes down. I'm going to soak this mine so my friend doesn't get hit by it. That would be very bad for them. I'm going to soak this mine as well, just to make sure that none of the melee runs into it. Again, just trying to make sure that people don't die to the mines that they don't see because they're under the unit or under these models. I just dropped my 6 stack of the thingy with the stuff. What's it called? Purified Brew. But it's not a big deal. I'll just build it back up. I'm not too worried about the tank damage here. I'm really curious what BOD is. Was he speaking to me? I have no idea, man. I guess we're using anti-magic zone here. Platinum pummel freaking someone out maybe with the movement here with the platinum pummel. I did a whoopsie and activated the hammer a bit too early, so we're gonna have to chill here with platinum plating for a little bit. Let's just see if we can activate this and smack this guy in the dome. That actually stops the AoE, so that kind of worked out. Not that the AoE is very important. Again, this is not really a heal check encounter. It's more of a please move the boss to the designated area so you can get knocked the hell out kind of the encounter. I do wonder who the friend was talking to, or the healer was talking to. I really don't know. What is BOD? What could it be? Oh, I got gripped. I smacked my head into that thing, and we're going to spin a bit for initial aggro, spin a bit for initial aggro, and taunt this guy over here. All right, we've got the double waste processing unit because the healer seems to be, you know, sweaty, telling people how to play their game. We're going to AoE CC here to not have an overlap of that and the Mega Drill. We're again AoE CCing here. We do not want those corrosive gunks to go out in the middle of, or right before the big AoE goes out. That's not a good thing. Big heal for ourselves. Keep purifying that stagger puncture comes out. We're going to use fortified brew here just because I am in the middle of the damage and everything. I don't want to have to deal with the huge dot that this puts on me. All right, cool. Now, if we can, I would love to be able to skip the next group or the next big guy. That would reduce our count enough. All right, this is perfect. Let's go. Ah, no, I moved too soon. I moved too soon. Executus, too soon. You have awoken me too soon. Gonna try and get aggro here. We're gonna try and stun these guys. One of those does go through, and oh no, more go through. We're gonna have to heal. We're gonna have to off heal here. Dome is down. Okay, I didn't manage to do the AoE CC at the right time. Nobody else was really participating in that whole thing, so that's, you know, it's whatever. Hopefully I don't get affected by too many of the... Yeah, okay, we're good. I was gonna say, I hopefully don't get affected by too many of these heal absorbs. Because what can happen if your tank gets all the heal absorbs and gets hit by the puncture, sometimes your tank can just go down like me right now. I'm gonna use Celestial Brew after using Blackhawk's Brew. Bit of a rough pull here. We're getting some AoEs and heal absorbs at the same time because I'm not paying attention and not clearing that or CCing that. 86% mana. Healer looks good. We're gonna zap this and just try to maintain aggro here. Fire Breath. Look at this guy. Keg Smash, Fire Breath, and now we're good. We don't have to pull anything else. In the dungeon, we have count basically by just holding W at this point. We don't have to do anything special. I'm going to put a bit of a heal on this person as they're pretty busted up from that. I should have probably waited for 6 stacks of Purified Chi there before sending my Celestial Brew to make it more useful, but oh well. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to use Celestial Brew more, and I'm probably not doing a terribly good job of it, but hey, you know. We don't seem to have Master Spell talented at all. Am I stupid? No, we don't have Master Spell at all. Someone decided to pull for me, so that's cool. I guess I'll just deal with it. Maybe they had a proc ready and we're ready to do big damn here. So I respect it. It's whatever. Venting Flames goes out. We're just gonna hide. I don't need to do any of this. I can just hide and figure things out from here. Somehow we have only 4 stacks, even though I think everyone was dispelled successfully. So I'm a little confused about that. But let's get Weapons of Order down so we can debuff El Jefe as much as possible. I'm gonna set it up so that when we hide, we have to go around this side so we're not close to this. I feel like it's a nice little min-max that I can do to make sure that the group is a little bit safer than it is right now. I'm going to use... I wanted to use Expel Harm here, but unfortunately I could not. It was... or Dampen Harm, but I could not. Send out all of our damage abilities because we have 4 stacks of the Weapons of Order thing. Should have done this much sooner, to be fair, but it's whatever. Big defensive on myself so that I don't take a huge chunk of damage. Ooh, this is pretty rough. Okay, we're gonna have to bring it here so people don't get line of sighted by me, and so we can hide on that side. Ooh, nice feigned death by the hunter there. So what happened there, or maybe it was someone else, but what happened basically was a person feigned death as Kujo jumped to them, and that sometimes sets it up so that you don't have to, he doesn't jump on others. I'm gonna ping danger on these guys just so people know that that is over there and should be avoided. Getting closer to this so DK can get in there sooner. Let's dispel this person, and this person gets an off heal, or maybe I can dispel them again. Okay, that works. Venting Flames goes out. I have nothing to really worry about here, so we're just gonna Fortifying Brew, and I'm gonna Explosive Keg and all that good stuff. Big heals on myself, no biggie. Touch of Death, and we can move on. Beautiful. I feel like that was a really nicely executed Kujo fight. We got a nice little trick in from the hunter, feign deathing some of those so we don't have to deal with them. That felt pretty dang good. I almost just fell off the damn thing. God dang. Dude, I make so many mistakes on this conveyor belt trying to go quickly. It's kind of stupid. I shouldn't do that. And let me just press the button so people don't get fried alive. There we go. Now I did look at the routing here, and the only thing I can really skip is potentially this guy by letting him path past us. And then we're going to soothe skip this because we have a priest. I can't see where the alarm bot is. Okay. And chi burst, and that hits these guys for 1,000,000. So I only have to taunt this guy, kick this, and easy peasy lemon squeezy aggro. Look at that. We're going to drop weapons of order because I should be using it on cooldown. I'm going to stun these guys so that they don't get their casts out, and then maybe somebody chooses to kick. Okay, nice. Pepe Hands sends out the kick. Beautiful. This guy has a big shield. I'm not going to bother kicking. Pepe Hands also has a big shield, so we're not going to bother kicking. I think this priest has the thing that shows them on their unit frames who's being targeted, which is really, really cool. That way they can shield whoever's being targeted by a spell cast, and they stay at full health. Arrowlith does this as well. It's just really, really cool. It's a good tech. Where's my aggro? There we go. I was trying to press buttons, but like my buttons weren't fire. I don't know, man. Weird situation right there. It's whatever. Quick, the spell goes out. Second person can't be dispelled. Luckily, it's the DK, so who gives a shit? DKs are immortal right now. I'm gonna look to see if we can help someone with a bit of an off heal here for this sorting thing, or short out thing, or whatever it is. Excuse the hiccups in the middle of that. And we're ready for thingy thing with the stuffy stuff, the spider tank. Now, range DPS, what they can do here is they can stand here over this ridge. Well, not all range DPS, because Evoker can't reach, but pretty much every other range DPS or healer can just stand over there, and then during the little intermission where he forces you to run from spot to spot and you lose uptime, you get to avoid that uptime if you just stand in that corner over there, because you're not in range for this ground effect to actually hit you. So just a little tip, if you're playing a caster, you can stand right about here over the ridge and you should be safe. I'm going to heal myself, dispel the warlock, and then the healer might heal the DK. There we go. That's good. Quick chi burst just to get things going a little quicker, and some kicks to the back of the tank, I guess, or whatever, and we're good to go. I have nothing I need to stay in combat for, I think, so I'm not going to bother pulling the civilians to maintain combat. And here we're going to just run through. Okay, that one's going to path away from us. So if I hug tight right, I should be able to get through here. Do I have a sneaky little thing that I can do here? Oh, no, I don't. Don't risk it for the biscuit, Vlad. That biscuit ain't worth it. We stand on these boxes. Should be fine from this guy passing through. I almost tried to get into the sneak area, but I wasn't able to. Now here we can just go through. As soon as this gap opens up, if you go through, you can make it through. It looks like everyone's through, except for the DK. I don't care. I'm just going to wait for these. I'm not going to do anything silly like pull these guys into the boss. For a pug that isn't expecting it, that can be super hard. Hi, Danny. Good morning. We're chilling here with just pulling this group. I say chilling as our healer dips really low. I probably hit the dot he ignored for a little bit, and then the zap from the guy kind of lined up and kicked his ass a bit. We interrupt the tune-up touch of death this thing, and we move on to Spark Flux. So we're going to hit him with a keg smash. And I guess Celestial Brew, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. His damage doesn't really concern me. We're going to stun this thing, and we're going to taunt him to move him over more quickly, and we're trying to kill the plant as quickly as possible. Big heals are going out. Oh, nice. A very generous plant moves in the direction we want to go. We have a Bloodlust rolling, so let's try and get Weapons of Order out so we can get some more damage in. I keep forgetting to use my offensive abilities, which is, you know, my bad. What can I say? I'm not too focused on that. 4 stacks of Weapons of Order means I use my Chi Burst and my Explosive Keg on him. Best time to use it, obviously. You can notice that I'm not really using my Purifying Brew because I'm not taking all that much damage, but I should use it at 2 stacks just to keep it rolling if I know I'm not taking damage, so that's a thing. Now for this thing, you can keep stunning it. An Asphyxiate here could be good, or a Intimidation from the Hunter, or whatever the marksmanship equivalent of Intimidation is. It gives the same debuff icon, but it's a different talent icon, if that makes any sense. I played a bit of MM, gotten it to 3.1k-ish, so I know at least that much. And of course, my sweeping leg sweep thing, that will also stun the thing, but it was on cooldown right as it spawned in. Dispel the DK, heal myself out of it, and there we go. Plant will be arriving shortly. We're going to... oh, Intimidation stun goes out. It was on cooldown last time, it seems. We're going to try and kill this thing as quickly as possible. Beautiful. I'm going to roll this way, which is probably going to piss off the DK, because now he can't reach. We're going to give him a bit of a Vivify heal. I should make I should see which way it rolls and then, like, goes and then move. That would be the better call. I'm going to touch a death here, so Scary Bones, which is a cool name, by the way, can release instantly, and we can move up here and focus this guy. I'm just going to ping it so people know that that one should be killed first. Most people know that at this point, but I like pointing it out still. We have Weapons of Order, so we can send that along with Chi Burst once I'm at 4 stacks here to maximize the damage. Let's heal ourselves. And once we're at 4 stacks right now, Chi Burst goes out. Bada bing, bada boom, easy peasy. We're gonna Fire Breath here real quick because I want to reduce the damage I'm taking. By using one of my Blackout Kick combos, I can make the DR that you get from Fire Breath 5% more effective, so you can get a bit more DR out of it, which is nice. And we're good to go. We're gonna skip the pack that is at the end here. So this pack, and then I'm gonna pull this and we're gonna fight it. For that, the best way to do it is to run around this lip here, the outside. Because if you run by this inner one, somehow it just pulls more often. I think it's just the positioning of the mobs itself. A little bit of an annoying thing, but both of the guys that I want to pull are really far away from us. So we're going to taunt that guy to make him move a bit quicker. And here what we're going to do is we're going to look for the defenders to drop their stuff. And then immediately, as soon as I can, move out of that. So now everyone can stay. I'm just going to bounce this guy. Oh, nice grip or grippy hands, whatever. Enjoy those while you can. They're getting removed next patch. But yes, everyone, including the DK, can stand in those defense things, but they're choosing not to do so because I guess they don't think they need to. Which, kind of okay, you know, DK, he can live for sure. Easy peasy. But why not take the free DR, you know? Then you don't have to spend resources on the thingy with the stuff. Death Strike to make sure that you live, you know, stuff like that. We're now out of these guys. I'm just going to touch it at this one so we can move on to this last one and hopefully kill it before it does the short out again. But yeah, we're out of the fenders, so that means no go. We're skipping this next group with Soothe. I'm going to ping around the side. Soothe skip goes out. Gate goes... Oh, right, Gate. We have a Warlock. I forgot about the Gate. Let me just use that. I was trying to use it so I couldn't quite get in there. All right, nice. Weapons of Order is going to go out. We're blowing up the defender for some reason. Like he's just getting absolutely melted. I'm trying to move them out of that so people can stand in it. I'm going to maneuver in such a way that I also stand in it, because why wouldn't I take advantage of that free DR? I didn't do that earlier, but you know, hoop happens, you know, as they say. 4 stacks of Weapons of Order means that I use my offensive abilities for the maximum benefit. Beautiful. And we're using these Blackout Kick procs that we have from our tier set. That's why our Blackout Kick button is glowing. One more short out goes out. I'm going to give a heal to whoever needs it. It was the DK in that moment in time, so here we are. Beautiful, and we're ready for the last boss with 12 minutes remaining. Holy shit, this group is popping off. I like this. I feel like we're doing really well. The healing has been on point. The DPS is great. I'm just having a good time. Like, I didn't have any issues with this run. It's kind of nice to get into a smooth run instead of just being cursed by the pugs over and over again. Quick heal for our DK friend. Doesn't really move his health bar because, you know, DK HP. But hey, it's whatever. Mega Zap goes out on the DK. He's very healthy at this point and doesn't have any issues with it. You'll notice that I'm not moving the boss much. You really don't have to do that. And you also don't, like, you don't have to get out of that circle. It does very little damage for some reason. It really isn't an issue. So I've started standing in it even in higher keys because the amount of healing needed to recover from it is very, very minimal, and you'll probably get cleaved for that much by any kind of AoE side healing that healers have. Unless you're playing a Holy Priest, there's not much of that. Actually, Holy Echo of Light, whatever it is, that might heal you. I don't know, man. Don't ask me, I don't play Holy Priest. I am making a Disc Priest just on the side for funsies because it genuinely looks fun to do these runs as a Disc Priest. Just like big penances healing everyone, huge shields keeping people safe. It just looks really fun to play. I want to do that. So yeah, I started leveling another priest, even though I have 2 priests at 80, because new character must be made for everything. That's the alcoholic speaking. And this fight, as you can see, is extremely, extremely intense. That's why I'm talking about random characters I'm leveling rather than, you know, focusing on my gameplay. What can I say, man? Today is a good day to be the Vlad. We're looking at a 2-star 11 workshop, which I'm very happy with. I'm gonna hug this corner right here while remaining in melee range. So I gotta make sure that I do not leave melee range, otherwise somebody else will get punched in the face. Our Warlock friend has to get out of that. Hopefully our Warlock friend does not receive another... Oh, he is very much El Dedo. Okay, he's living, trying to send off heals on his way. People getting hit by the orbs now. Okay, come on, let's focus up, guys. We got this. Big damage over time effect on the Warlock right now. We're going to dispel the Warlock, trying to do some off heals here to see if I can help with clearing these, but it looks like we're good. Okay, so that was kind of my bad. I could have moved to the right to help the Warlock out. I thought he would get out in time. I don't know what happened and why he didn't. That's my bad. So I almost killed the Warlock here, and this whole shit show could have very well been my fault. I'm going to turn my back to the boss because why not? I don't really care. I'm trying to find the Warlock and send Chi Burst through the boss and into the Warlock to get a bit of healing. Min-max that shit. Very, very efficient. Stop auto-attacking the boss and look for the Warlock in the back to do mediocre heals that he does not need. I make the best decisions sometimes, especially when it's 10:40 a.m. All right, some good damage coming out this time around. I feel like I'm doing okay, and I just looked at it in the DPS meter, and maybe not. Okay, maybe not. I'm gonna heal myself, heal the hunter. There we go, helping out with the affix as it were. Now, if I get another heal, I'm gonna send it to the Warlock to make sure that they're okay, and I'm gonna send it to the hunter. Make sure that they're okay. Step to the side here. Boss is just about dead. We're looking pretty comfortable in this 2-star. Me likey. So you don't need much. You don't need to do crazy skips in this run, like shifting through the thing or whatever in an 11. You just chill. You just chill and you do the run. Easy peasy, hold W route, and there we go. 18 gilded undermine crests, and anything else? Nope. No luck. With no other leather wearers in the group, I don't have to even think about asking people for stuff. Although this cloak, I have a crafted cloak, lad. Shut the fuck up. It's high versatility. That's why I was thinking about the cloak, okay? Gonna hit them with the shill message and peace out. Healer was having none of this, though. He was upset because someone was using BOD in AoE. I have no idea what that means, but who cares? They were salty about it, and they were probably just pissed about having to be in the run with someone who uses BOD in AoE. What is BOD? Am I stupid? I'm gonna assume that BOD is big old donkey. I just looked through some spells, tried to find something with the initials BOD, and I couldn't find it. I don't know, man. Anyway, let's take a look at our Chi Burst. Our Chi Burst, we used it 26 times. This is nowhere near enough. We need to use this thing more. I'm going to go ahead and make myself a WeakAura that's going to just have it dancing over here, kind of like our Purifying Brew. So let's actually go and use /A/WA. Let's just go and duplicate our Purifying Brew reminder. We're going to duplicate it. We're going to go over to position and size settings immediately, and the X offset is -50. Let's set it to 50 so it's on the right hand side here. We're going to call this Chi Burst reminder, and we're just going to send Chi Burst on cooldown. I don't need to have 4 stacks of Weapons of Order. I can have it sort of as a bonus, but for the most part, I'm just going to try to get Chi Burst out as much as possible to build the habit. So let's just adjust this. Now here we have a few conditions about stagger and being in combat. I'm going to go ahead and leave this in combat thing as it is. Stagger does not matter for me. You could argue the higher your stagger, the more damage you do. So you could say that you could wait for high stagger to Chi Burst, but again, I'm not going to min-max it like that. We're going to replace this thing and we'll be replacing it. 123986 is the spell ID for Chi Burst. There we go. And we're going to get rid of this charges condition thing. And this basically says, hold on, not on cooldown. There we go. And now with the combination of triggers that we have here, if Chi Burst is not on cooldown, and if I am in combat, and I guess I need to be alive to be in combat, so I don't need to double dip on that. What we want to happen is when both of these triggers are active, when they're required for activation, both of them, we want to have the Chi Burst icon dancing over here. So let's go get into combat with Chi Burst off cooldown, and then you'll be able to see just how annoying that WeakAura is and how much it'll prompt me to want to use Chi Burst. So see, Chi Burst is right there. We're gonna go ahead and blast it. Beautiful, beautiful. Now I could min-max this shit, and what I could do is have it so that if Weapons of Order is available, it doesn't show up, but nah, like it's gonna be annoying because then I also don't use Weapons of Order as much as I should. So you could argue that I could make a Weapons of Order WeakAura that does the same thing, but Weapons of Order I do try to save for like the starts of big pulls and stuff. Because what I do, let's say I have to pull these 3 groups. So I have to pull this, this, and this, and I'm starting from, I don't know, from over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get over to them, Keg Smash, Fire Breath. Get over to this guy, Keg Smash, Fire Breath. And then get to this guy, Weapons of Order, Keg Smash, Fire Breath. You could argue I did have a Keg Smash going there already, but now when all of these catch up to me over here, I can again Keg Smash, Fire Breath, all of them, and then I'm good on the aggro department. So that is what I try to do. Usually with commentary, I fail to do so, but when I'm not commentating as much, like on the stream and stuff, then I get to do it. And what a wonderful segue. Speaking of the stream, today we'll be doing some 11s on the stream because we just cleared an 11, and boy did we clear it, a plus 11. I'm very happy with that. That was a good chunk of rating and just a really fun run. I feel like that was a really fun run. I enjoyed it. So make sure you check out the stream and see how many 11s we get to do PUG only. But that's pretty much it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, drop a like, let me know what you liked about it in a comment down below. If you had fun, make sure you subscribe because there's more episodes coming. If you want to see what happens between these episodes, you can check out the stream. If you can't make it to the stream, you can of course check out the live section of this YouTube channel for the VODs. But as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode, where hopefully I stop ignoring Chi Burst, because that thing do damn. Yo. Did I have to get healed a lot? I feel like I had to get healed a lot. No, just a bunch of power word shields getting spammed on me. Not bad. Not bad. Mostly atonement, so he didn't have to penance me and stuff, so I'm cool with that.